I'm very interested to hear about this new experiment that this friend over here is working on. So just like the last presenter, we're going to welcome him with a big round of applause. So everybody, let's make some noise for Adrian.
Thank you very much. So when I got asked to speak here, I was a little hesitant because I have a fear that when I see you guys or meet you guys after this, like, oh, you're the Pokemon guy. That's totally not how I want to be remembered by. But this whole thing, Pokemon Go, came out, and this is kind of just, I'll label it as a very interesting marketing experiment. The marketing that I focus on is lead generation, which can be sometimes dangerous because when you're good at it, any silly idea that you have in your head, it's like, I'm going to try that, and I'm going to spend tons of time and focus and energy, and then, so it's like, this is one of those ideas gone crazy, and it's been fun. So to give Ping maybe some different identities besides Adrian the Pokemon guy, the last half year, one of my biggest dreams came true, and I recently became a partner in a marketing firm. The marketing firm's been around for 20 years. They were formerly known as Refinery Design. Now they're called Unimarketa. The original founders from Dubuque, but we all work remote. We don't have a brick and mortar. Like most agencies, we do all types of different businesses. But if you were to look at our core clients, 80% of those are credit unions. We work with like the largest provider of student loans in the country. So it's mainly credit unions. The other thing that makes it really cool, just because marketing for credit unions is the most sexiest thing in the world, and I can definitely be a little dry, is we'll take an equity stake in a company. Sometimes we'll even launch a company from scratch. And so this was our very first one that we did when I came on board. Visual Nation, we just launched a photography expo. We had at the top like 20 photographers and videographers in the world. We had 10 of them. We just had it in Chicago just a few weeks ago. It was awesome. It was a blast. We learned a lot. We made a ton of mistakes, but we have 5 more coming in next year. So far, we have San Diego, Texas, and Kansas City coming up. And the other 2 we still have to plan. But so that's really fun. And so that's just a little background. When I'm not at the marketing firm, you can find me dancing on YouTube. I started a YouTube channel. I was in college just for fun, and it kind of grew into this thing way bigger than myself, and now I have like the largest channel on teaching people how to dance the robot, or technical term is called popping. So if you ever wanted, you got a wedding coming up, if you like search anything that's like, hey, how to dance, how to bust cool dance moves, you might come across one of my videos. I really have around 11 million views, but I had to delete 2 million because my account was like this close from being deleted because I had all these copyrighted videos. So now everything's copyright free. I just came over 70,000 subscribers, and my goal is to, I don't know where this is kind of like my fun. As long as I'm 27, so I always thought when I graduated college I have to stop dancing, but because of this I still get to do. So some other things that kind of make up who I am. Now, let's get nerdy and talk about Pokemon Go. So July 6th, really important date for this experiment. Pokemon becomes cool again. So this is a screenshot of Google Trends. That's crazy. That never happens. So as soon as I saw that, I was not an early adopter of Pokemon Go. I didn't know it was coming out, and then my friends were telling me about it. So I looked online, and the first thing I thought of, holy moly, like there's so much traction going on, there's so much traffic. What can I do to capitalize on this trend? So this is my beautiful wife, and like I said, I always have tons of silly ideas, and the conversation usually goes like this with my wife. It's like, hey, beautiful, sweet, sweet, beautiful baby. I got this idea. She's like, what? What is it? What is it now? And it's like, all right, Pokemon Go, I'm going to spend $500 max, I promise. And she's like, she always says yes, but I'll get like, or like the roll of the eyes. Eventually she said yes, so let's see, this was like a week after Pokemon Go came out, and some other things I started looking at is like, well, if I'm going to get into this market, what's something that I can what's something that they need? What's the problem? So I started playing the game for business purposes only. And then I noticed that people, they had chargers, and they had these big, ugly chargers, small chargers, that were hooked up in a backpack. And so I did, this is Google AdWords snapshot, and also a trend snapshot of portable phone chargers. And like right here, this is kind of where Pokemon Go came out. So like phone chargers in general just had a huge spike in traffic. So that's kind of where I looked at, can I make a portable phone charger in the shape of a Pokeball? Now, as much as I wish to say I was the first person to think of this idea, I wasn't. Someone, when I started looking at this, I found someone out there who had already started making it, and so then my thought was like, there's so much demand, I can get into this market, and I can see if I can make a better product. That's me. I hit up a friend. They're in Hiawatha. It's a business called Presentations, and they make all kinds of cool products. They have a CNC machine, and so we prototyped it. Josh, that's my prototype. You want to toss that to me? So it's our very first prototype. It's a Christmas ornament that's clear, and we paint the inside white and red. This is vinyl. And then the charger we didn't make, we ordered off Amazon. It's a very small charger, and add a keychain, and here we have a Pokeball. So I ran a lot of tests on what people would buy it for. I put it up for on Etsy, and I started out at $50. I was getting a lot of hits. I moved it up to $72, $74. People were still buying them at that price point. And then I kind of find a good $60. This is all in the time span of a week from launching. We launched on July 21st. Yes, I know how to build websites. I took the lazy route, and I put it on Etsy just for sake of timeliness. I've never been on Etsy before. I didn't know how SEO worked on Etsy, so I studied it, and I did a little, could be argued as like a gray hat tactic. I learned that the algorithm on Etsy is kind of like Amazon, and so where it ranks products is the volume of sales that you get and a timeliness or like traction. So I launched a product, and then I hit up like 10 friends, and we made like fake purchases. I sent them money, and then they bought the product, so it made it look legit. And then so within like an hour, 2 hours, we had like 10 sales from launch, and then in a matter of 48 hours, my product ranked #1 for Pokemon, anything Pokemon Go, Pokemon portable charger. We ranked on Etsy, and then Google picked that up. So now we were on the first page of Google, and that was like in 3 days from when we launched this site. So from that point, then things started getting really crazy. We got picked up by TechCrunch. The only reason why we got picked up by TechCrunch, we weren't the biggest seller of Pokeballs, but I noticed that all the Pokeball images were crappy, and all I did was take better looking photos, and so they had like a blog post talking about portable chargers, and then they picked us up. That's when I regretted not making a website, because they gave us a good SEO backlink, and it pointed to my Etsy store. I was like, crap. We tried a follow-up product. For those who don't know Pokemon Go, they used to have a tracker, and they removed it because it wasn't working, so it was kind of like, never forget the tracker. It didn't work out. No one bought it. all the purchases, I don't know, I think there was 4 purchases, and they were also fake purchases, and it didn't work out. These are my stats in the first 30 days. So after we started ranking #1, we were getting 1,000 views a day. Favorites, that's like a KPI in Etsy, another factor for ranking, but it's not as powerful as sales. Let's see, $5,843 and across 89 orders in the first 30 days. Something I'm not ashamed of at all is you can just not be any analytics savvy and know that there's big stuff here and it's going down. So I know why that's that. The market is just over flooded with a ton of people who are making Pokeballs for all types of prices. To date, or as of last night, here's some kind of stats on the project. So our customer acquisition, which is all the cost of marketing to try to get a new customer, is like 50 cents to acquire a new customer during this 30 days. I think if I did another 30 days, it would shoot up, it would triple and quadruple, it would be so much higher. The lifetime value of our product is only $60 right now. I have a new product that I'm releasing. I'm going to show a slide of. So that may go higher, may not. I'm gonna try at least another 30 days really hard to try to see if I can keep this going or not. But I'm cautiously optimistic if it will do that. Cost of goods, so to make that, it's $14, $5 to ship, which makes our profit margin around 69%. Total revenue, we made a little over $7,000, and we sold 114 units so far. So it's been a ton of fun, it's been a blast. What's next? So this is really funny. This girl on the left, her name's Cassandra, she's out of San Diego. And she's a model, and she's a super Pokemon Go nerd, so she asked if she could be a rep or something, like a brand ambassador. I was like, heck yes. Like, so sent her a Pokeball. I actually just came back from San Diego, and I met her, and we talked shop and stuff, and I took some photos of her with the Pokeball. So she's gonna go around and play this and like casually talk to people. And I've played with it on for business purposes, and people have like, I feel like Justin Bieber. People will swarm you and be like, what is that? Where do you get it? So if she's doing it, can you imagine like a model going around? Like people play Pokemon Go. I forgot the slide, but their statistics say that they've never talked to a girl before at all. This is going to be amazing to have her going around. So that might be, because I think the online way of getting sales is the competition's too high, but maybe we'll see where that goes. So this is actually the first week of that. And then on the right here, we're not making this. We're just doing drop ship. Cost from the manufacturer, I think, is around $20. I think I might put that up for $50. But it lights up and it can change colors, and it's a USB port. So no one right now is making anything close to that, or at least it's not popular. If so, that's a new product that we'll launch, and we'll see where that goes. But that kind of concludes my little marketing Pokemon Go experiment.